So today is Sunday, October 3rd, and it's just after 7 in the morning. The sun is just starting to rise, and it's probably about 70 degrees out here. Very, very nice. So I'm down at the Bayou for the first time in a long time, and we had a lot of rain over the last few days. So the water's really high, it's running pretty good. I'm gonna try for some big alligator gar or catfish for the first time in months, and I'm very excited about it. So I've noticed at this spot, in order to get a lot of bites from catfish, you really need to put your bait out in the middle of the channel where it's deepest. And to try to make that work today, I would need a cinder block to hold that thing in place. So I'm just trying to get it on the edge of the fast moving deep water as much as possible. And I put a 1 ounce, one of those pyramid shaped weights on my bigger surf rod there. And that's got the head of a small grass carp on it. The fish was like this big, and I just cut it in half, and I put the tail on my Shakespeare sturdy stick, and I put that on a float with a nice long leader and managed to get it into a spot where there's an eddy, and it's more or less just hanging out in the same spot. So we'll see. I'm not really sure what to expect today. That may have been a turtle. Something was pulling on it hard enough to bend the rod over. But I just felt the water is still definitely warm enough for alligator snappers and big softshell turtles to be active. And there's a lot of those in here. And when the water is really ripping like this little calm, wide area right here is a perfect place for them, to take shelter from the strong current. So another month or two and the water will be cold enough where I shouldn't have to worry about turtles taking my bait. Whoa. So here's some of the smaller size grass carp that I got. For these ones, I'm just cutting them in half and making 2 pieces of bait. And then I've got a bigger grass carp. I'm gonna cut that up into chunks like I normally do. All right, I just put a fresh piece of bait on, and I tossed it out as far towards the middle of that channel as I thought I could get away with. Although I'm pretty sure the current just took it and swept it right off into the calm water, but hopefully it's right on the edge of that, deeper, faster water and the calm water. What I'm really hoping for is a catfish. This is definitely not the best place to catch catfish, but I've caught a few okay blues here. I mainly picked this spot because I knew that with all the rain, that it would just be really muddy and the water level would be up, and most of my spots just would not be really comfortable place to fish from. But this is nice and open and clean and accessible, and just a really, really easy place to relax and fish from. So even though it's not the best, most likely place to catch a fish, it's the best place to relax. Something's definitely thumping on there. I just don't know what. Nothing big, obviously. Well, I'm seeing some fish breaking the surface, but I'm not really getting any bites. Just a little something that's like thumping on this rod, maybe a little catfish or turtle or something. So I would really like to try to get some live bait. I've caught some perfect size mullet in here before with my cast net, but they're rare, and it takes a lot of work, and throwing the cast net makes a huge racket, a lot of splashing, disturbing the water. So that's kind of a last resort. I want to just give it a little bit longer first and see if maybe a catfish will pick up one of these pieces of dead carp. But if that looks like it's not gonna work, then I'll try for some live bait. It's just rock steady.
Yeah, I think you got to snag them, and the movement you see in the rod tip is the current. All right, catch you later.
Have a good one. Oh, I got it loose. Snag.
I've often thought about fishing here. I would fish there.
And the bait's gone. Yeah, right here is nice because this thing extends out and it's just soft sand.
Yeah.
Nothing to get hung up on. All right, well, I just threw the cast net here and I got a nice largemouth bass. That was totally unexpected. I was hoping that was a mullet. And then there's also some shad, and these are a little smaller than I'd like, but it's worth a try. So I'm gonna throw this bass back in the water, and then I'm gonna try one of these bigger shad on as some live bait. I have a real love-hate relationship with this spot. There's a lot of things I like about it. Good accessibility, nice comfortable place to fish from, and there's a lot of big gar and a few good-sized catfish in here, but I don't think I've actually landed a fish here since, man, I don't know, it's been a long time, like a year or so. Usually when I come here, I get at least one or two really good bites. Rod goes way over, drag starts screaming, and then I usually lose the fish. Snag, line broke, spit hook, something. But I usually get a little bit of excitement. But so far today, nothing. So I've got a body section of a big grass carp out there on the bottom, pretty far out. And then I've got a shad, a live shad that I caught in a cast net, and that's on a float. And that's right out there. So we'll see. There's not much more I can do. Oh geez, we got a fish. That was unexpected. Totally unexpected. What? 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 I think I may have just caught my first buffalo. I'm pretty sure that is a buffalo. I've tried to catch these before with no luck. How on earth? I don't understand. There was a huge piece of fish on here. They must have chewed it off, and there must have been just a tiny little piece left. I mean, I've got him lip hooked. He's not snagged accidentally. Holy smokes. I've been trying to catch one of these forever. That's amazing. Oh, I'm gonna get him unhooked and cleaned off, and we'll take a look. Come here, buddy. What an amazing surprise. So this is what they call a buffalo. And a lot of people think they're carp. I mean, boy, it looks like a carp. I mean, the scales are exactly the same, but it's actually the largest member of the suckerfish. And you can see his mouth is pointed down as that little sucker look to it. But this is so cool. I've been trying to catch one of these for a while. Normally people get them on bread and, you know, like corn and things like that that you would use to fish for carp. It never occurred to me that I would catch one using cut fish as bait, but that's just amazing. I'm so excited. This is like better than a catfish or a gar or anything. Awesome. Really cool. And away you go. Oh yeah. You know, that buffalo may have just solved a mystery that has been bugging me since I first came here. So every time I come down to this spot, or just about anywhere else along this bayou, and I throw a big piece of cut fish down there, I get just these constant little bites. But, you know, I can tell that it's not some tiny little fish nibbling on it. It's big enough to pick the big chunk of bait up, pick the weight up, and make the rod move, you know? But I've never been able to hook whatever it was. So I imagined, you know, just swarms of little channel catfish down there tearing at it, or something like that, turtles. And I've tried even putting small pieces of bait on there, and I've never been able to catch whatever that is. But it happens every single time. Like even today, a lot of the bait that I threw in there just got nibbled down to the bones and skin and nothing left. And it could be that it's buffalo fish. You know, with that little mouth just nibbling the bait down, and it's very hard to hook them, you know? So it has to be something sizable in order to, you know, move that big piece of bait and weight around. And those buffalo are kind of big and heavy. So I wonder if that is what has been chewing on my bait all these times. All right, well, not the most exciting day, but for me, 90% of the enjoyment comes from just being outdoors. It's so nice to finally have the weather cooling off, to be able to get out again. So yeah, that buffalo fish was totally unexpected. First time for me on that. That was cool. And yeah, hopefully the weather will keep cooling off and the water will keep cooling off, and I'll be able to get out here quite a bit in the near future. So thank you all for watching. I hope everyone's doing well, and I will see you soon.